What is up, heroes? This is MidniteZer0, and welcome to another week of Heat of the Week. This week is going to be a bit more of a chill week. There was an incredible amount of heat. This episode isn't going to be super fire. It's probably going to be closer to a lukewarm. So I'm encouraging you guys to just kind of chill with me and enjoy the music, and let's just appreciate what little heat was brought, or what incredible heat was brought and didn't really do much from the previous week. No need to pay too much attention to the rankings or get too competitive about it. Let's just appreciate. So let's start off by taking a look at Sylveon from Gearhart, coach of the Seattle Star Raptors. Now, what's heat about this particular set is Q-Charm and Moonblast, really. It's not too out of the ordinary to run a physically defensive Sylveon, given that it's already got incredible natural specially defensive bulk, but knowing that Gearhart didn't really care about the damage input or output, didn't really care about that extra little bit of damage from Hyper Voice, and was much rather interested in, taking physical hits. The likelihood of activating Q-Charm was definitely a lot higher with this sort of a Sylveon, and rather than, have that little bit of extra damage output, that opportunity to not potentially be attacked due to attraction was more important. Sadly, it didn't really come to fruition at all in the battle, but it is an interesting thought, and to someone who doesn't really care about that little bit of extra damage from Hyper Voice, it does make sense, and that's pretty atypical. So that's why it is here on Heat of the Week. Next up, we've got Entei from NumNexus, coach of the Pittsburgh Pichus. Now, I reached out to NumNexus, but I didn't actually get all the information for this Entei set. All I really do know about it is that it was Shed Shell, and that's really what matters. When you're going up against a Dugtrio, a Trapinch, even a Magnezone, it's not too out of the ordinary to run Shed Shell on certain mons. I know that certain mons, Celesteela, Skarmory, a lot of mains like primarily use Steel types. In anticipation of Magnezone, will use Shed Shell. But with Entei, it's very rarely seen. It's not a very common competitive set. And so maybe it's not too crazy, maybe it's just good preparation, but it was pretty cool, and it's something you don't see too often, so I figured might as well shout it out. And again, the heat isn't really strong this week, it's lukewarm at best, so here we go. As far as the rest of the set goes, I don't really know all the moves outside of Sacred Fire, but this is just what I would anticipate based on typical Entei spread and moveset. Next up, we've got Gothic Cell from Professor Willow of the United Kingler, and this Gothic Cell in particular is pretty cool because it's an Assault Vest Gothic Cell with Mirror Coats, meaning it can tank hits pretty well. It can almost always rely on actually taking a hit, and then Mirror Coat doing double damage back. So however much HP Gothic Cell loses from a special attack, Mirror Coat will do double that back to the opponent, meaning it can take Volt Switch, it can take any special attack really, and is hit back super hard. Outside of that, it can hit hard with Psychic, a stab move. Charge Beam is, really good to potentially increase your own special attack stat. And then Foul Play is in case you go up against a really strong physical attacker and you want to hit it hard. So it's got, a few heat ways to hit back. And overall, it had one little chance to shine, which was effective. And, as far as the EV spread goes, it's nothing too crazy. Max def, max HP. Arguably could be tailored a little bit more, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty out of the ordinary. Figured might as well throw it on Heat of the Week. Alright, next up we've got Suicune from Munch Laxter United, coached by King Bub. Now, this is a Heat Suicune. Sadly, it just flopped. I had a really difficult time this week balancing heat and effectiveness because it was really just kind of all over the place, so it was really difficult to rank them, which is why partially at the beginning I said, it's not a week to pay too much attention to the rankings, to care too much about the order, just kind of enjoying the little bit of heat that is going to be spotlighted, And so this Suicune's got Hidden Power Electric, Toxic, Rest, and Whirlpool, so clearly a trapping Suicune. Whirlpool is going to lock those opponents in, do some passive damage. Toxic is going to be building up damage really quickly. HP Electric, of course, will do some damage, not to a lot of things, but really just for the one or two threats that don't take a lot from Toxic or Whirlpool. And Rest is there so that you can perpetually just, you can heal up as easily as you want. Chesto Resto is a common combination that's not too out of the ordinary. It's really the move set and the EV spread that allow this bond to shine. The EVs are tailored so that a lot of common 2-hit KOs become 3-hit KOs, meaning you have the chance to rest before dying off. And that allows more Whirlpool damage, more Toxic damage to build up, and essentially guaranteeing an essential KO if you choose a mon you want to trap, and then you can kind of ensure that thing is dead by getting off one clean rest. And little bits of HP Electric chip damage, Toxic building up Whirlpool each turn. It'll only take 3-4 turns maybe for Mon to die. So given that 2 KOs become 3 KOs, that means you have Suicune living afterwards, which is really cool. So really creative set. Too bad I couldn't do too much in this week's match. And then lastly, we've got Mew from Swami, Moonlight Swami, coach of the Colorado Rapidash. This Mew is really neat. It's a Choice Scarf Transform Mew. It's got a lot of HP, it's got plenty of speed to outspeed relevant threats with a Scarf. It's got Transform so that it can turn into various threats that can set up on the Luxray's team. U-Turn is there for momentum, of course, and Flamethrower and Energy Ball are simply just coverage moves, but Transform was the main heat of the set, and it did have a bit of a role in the match. It's, you know, applied a lot of pressure, it was really helpful for momentum, and it did help out with preventing potential setup sweeps and such. So it was pretty cool. It wasn't like a huge game changer, but it was really heat and effective. It probably had the best balance between the two, in my opinion. But that's really all for this week. Again, it was a relatively chill week. I just wanted to drop this by so that, you know, the little heat that there was in week 5 gets appreciated before, you know, we start watching all the team builders and getting all the hype going for week 6, which of course I'm hyped for, and I hope you guys are too. And that's all I have for this week. Let me know what your thoughts are on the heat in the comment section below. Again, each week there won't be tons and tons of heat, so it's my job to spotlight what I can and what there is. So that's all I got. I'll see you guys next week. But until then, this has been MidniteZer0, and this mission is complete.